Welcome back to the EAM Crypto channel. My name is Enrique, and thank you so much for watching episode 18. That's right, episode 18 of the weekly recap and upcoming weekly review. There's a lot to cover, as usual, in the crypto space. But before we get cracking into everything, huge thank you to Swapsicle for supporting our channel, for partnering with our channel. Go check out Swapsicle, all the links below. Fantastic decks where you can farm, you can swap, you can armor your LPs. You can do so much with Swapsicle, so go check them out. And if you're looking to short crypto or leverage trade, check out my link below. It's my affiliate link for Bitget. A lot of cool rewards if you click on that link. And it's a fantastic platform. Been so happy with it. So speaking of shorting crypto, I'm actually in a short right now. I just jumped into it right before I started filming. I had done one other short this weekend. I shorted XRP. We can start with XRP. Sorry, XRP Army, if you're watching. I did short and I already got on my short at a nice little profit, nothing huge, but good enough. And I decided to get out of my short with XRP. Well, a couple things. First of all, XRP is looking pretty weak as far as the technicals go. Positive momentum is definitely starting to wane little by little. RSI is starting to drop. And it just has been showing a lot of weakness, really. I mean, here it formed a higher low. A lower high than the previous one here and here. So I'm expecting for another one to form at some point. And as you can see here on the 4-hour, I'm kind of drawing this out right here. I want to see what happens first. So this is why I got on my short at a decent little profit, but I got out of it because I want to see what happens here. Not sure if it's going to go and test this trend line that it's not very old, just from September 29th. I want to see if it's going to test it. If it bounces off it, then I'll open up another short. But let's see what happens. It would not surprise me this weekend. Maybe it crosses here, find some positive momentum. I mean, it's starting to wane as well as far as the MACD. And as far as the RSI, I don't see anything that pops out at me, but it is looking a little weakish. It's still trending on negatively. So I just kind of want to wait and see. So that's why I closed out my XRP short. But the one that I opened up right now. And guys, I wasn't expecting to talk about this asset in today's video, but right before I went on, I noticed that LUNC went up all the way up to 0035. And so I was able to open up a short. I got in somewhere around here, around 34.2. So I'm in a little bit of profit, but I'm going to wait and see how this pans out. As you can see, the other times that this asset has done something like that, where it has a huge candle, and then it shows a wick. Like that, it usually gives away a lot of it. So as you can see right here, on just a couple days ago, the last time it did that, it gave away about half of it. And if you see it here, it eventually gave away more than half of that candle. And if you look at these candles right here, it gave away a big chunk of that last candle, which it certainly looks like this is the last candle here. So it was two big candles here in the 2-hour. So I'm expecting something similar where it's going to give away half of the candles, so maybe end up around, I don't know, 3 zeros and maybe 32.5, something like that. And that's probably where I'll close my short. So that's what I'm doing. But I've been really patient with this asset, waiting for it to run, and then just shorting it once I think that run is over. So I was watching this a little closely on other time frames. I felt that it was a little more evident that it's kind of done with its run. As you can see here on the second run right here, which there's only 1 minute 55 seconds left on the 30-minute time frame. You can see that it tried to run up again, and here we have a lower high than this one right here. So more times than not, that means that it's going to stop running. But we'll see, because right here, if I would have seen that, I would have gotten caught here. But I wanted to see it run more, so that's why I didn't act here. So as you can see here, it's done it a few times already, and most times this is when you start seeing kind of like the bottom, it's starting to fall when it tries to run again and gives a lower high. And the volume on this 30-minute candle definitely lower than the previous one. So I feel pretty comfortable about my short. I don't think that I jumped the gun. I think that I timed it just right. Well, obviously, 3 zeros and 35,000 would have been timing it just right, but I'm 34.2. I'm happy with that. Very happy with that. So we'll see how that pans out, but I'll probably close on my short somewhere around here. But we'll see. This asset's still very strong. on nonsense. The whole burning thing is not going to affect the price action for many, many years, but crypto's a funny place. All right, so let's go back to Bitcoin, I guess. And a couple of things. Oh, no, by the way, I want to talk about Illuvium today. Someone asked about that. One of our members from our community asked about Illuvium. Definitely have some very strong opinions about Illuvium, short term, midterm, all sorts of time frames. So I'll get into that in a little bit. But just talking about Bitcoin, there are a couple things I wanted to call out. So the CME gap, I think, closed at 19,350, if I remember correctly. So you got to figure that's going to be somewhere around that come Sunday afternoon at 5 p.m. Central. So usually when it does that, when BTC does that, and it's probably going to be pretty non-volatile, it's going to be pretty stable. It's going to act like, like it's Horde or Spring Games token, just kind of ranging like this. You would think that alts would do really well. But if you see Ethereum, it's actually done really, really poorly, especially today. I mean, earlier today it was somewhere up here around 1339, and now here we are all the way down. It went to 1304, 1303, and it's at 1311 right now. So despite BTC ranging all day, Ethereum just getting hammered, absolutely hammered. And I am so bullish on Ethereum long term. I think during the next bull run, a 15K Ethereum makes a lot of sense to me, which would be a 3x from the previous bull run, especially with the fact that the issuance has been decreased by 95% so far, and the more it gets used, the higher you're going to see the issuance rate fall. So really exciting stuff for Ethereum long term. I am more bullish on Ethereum than Bitcoin now as far as a long term hold, but short term it's not looking good at all whatsoever, and it almost looks like it's got to go and test this 1255 sooner rather than later. So that would be my opinion. And as we look at Bitcoin, even though it's kind of stabilized and it's been kind of ranging, bottom line, it's looking pretty weak. The positive momentum is basically starting to get into negative territory. RSI is looking a little weak, as you can see here. This is painting a little bit lower. Now it's a decent. I guess you can make an argument possibly that if it starts turning around, it's a higher high. Sorry, I can't even speak today. A higher low than all these other lows. So from that perspective, but as far as right here, I don't see anything to paint a very bullish picture or bearish picture. But on the MACD, I do, and I just can't help but think with so much horrible news coming out everywhere in the macro that the traditional markets are going to open tomorrow at 5 p.m. on the negative. And so I think that tomorrow evening, BTC will probably, my guess is probably going to start slumping. And I think that's why you're seeing Ethereum do what it's doing. It's almost like the market knows that BTC is going to get hit hard, and Ethereum is not already kind of, premeditating that price action tomorrow. So that's kind of like my guess. So I do think that there's going to be a pretty red start to next week. And I actually feel pretty confident about that, but we'll wait and see. But as far as XRP, like I said, let's wait to see what happens. If it can cross over that trend, if it does, there could be quite a bit of upside all the way up here, maybe. But if it doesn't, then yeah, it should present another easy short, or at least an easy scalp short if you want to do something short term. EOS has been showing some strength lately, which really surprised me. But I did want to call out that if you see where it right here at $1.10, is kind of like where it found a very obvious low. And if you look at it historically, it kind of made sense. It's been around that range quite a bit, where it's done a turnaround before. It was a little bit lower low than this low right here from May 12th, but it's nowhere close to those lows of 82 cents from June. So yeah, EOS showing a little bit of strength, which surprised me. The negative momentum is starting to wane. RSI is starting to trend higher. Looks like it broke a trend line of RSI. It clearly did, yeah. So pretty surprised to see what's happening to EOS, but haven't really shorted or anything like that. ETC still in this range. Feels like it's going to be in this range forever. So we will see. We will see what happened. It never tested this right here. This green dotted, what I think would be the next level of resistance. It just hasn't tested. It hasn't even come close. It's been too weak of an asset. And look at that volume. It's getting really, really low. All right, so NEAR. I wanted to talk about NEAR. I actually started to DCA into NEAR this week with some of my profits from trading. Nothing crazy, like about 270, I think 270 tokens. But I am going to start to DCA little by little, probably weekly, into this asset. I just firmly believe that NEAR is going to do something like Solana did last bull run. I firmly believe that NEAR is going to be one of those assets that does get to triple digits at least. Solana got to 300. If Solana got to 300, why can't NEAR get to 100? With everything that NEAR has going for it, it has a huge community, has the backing of a lot of marketing and all sorts of things. The fundamentals are very strong. I am very, very bullish on NEAR for the next bull run, and I want to accumulate as much NEAR as I can during this bear market, and then dump it all once it gets into start dumping at triple digits. But there's no telling how high it can go. So next bull run. So I know it sounds crazy because it's only at $3.55, but I see NEAR whatever whenever we tip off in the next bull run, whether it's late 2024 or 25 or whenever that happens, I expect triple digits out of NEAR. I know it sounds crazy. It makes me sound like a moon boy. Call me moon boy. I'm a NEAR moon boy, I guess, but I have big expectations for this asset. So we'll see what happens there. So yeah, BTC Dominance not doing so bad today, and really ever since September 22nd, or really September 7th. It's done quite well. It really has. So BTC Dominance, no one's really talking about it, but it's looking pretty solid. It kind of double topped here, so it had to drop back and gain some momentum. But yeah, it's looking really good. The momentum's starting to get more and more positive, and RSI is trending up. And it's nowhere close to its moving average. But again, like I said in other videos, I am not going to place too much emphasis on exponential moving averages for a while now, because we are in a state of quantitative tightening versus easing, and the data of all these moving averages is based on quantitative easing. So I think it's going to be kind of like my edge over most traders, that I'm not going to put any emphasis on it while they do. All right, so Illuvium. Let's talk about Illuvium. Thank you so much for asking about it. It's actually an asset that I've been wanting to cover on the channel forever. And I'll probably do a video on Illuvium sometime soon, maybe mix it in with a couple of other these types of projects, because there's a lot to cover here. So Illuvium, look guys, these guys have done very well as far as the marketing piece, getting their name out. Their game is top notch. It's like it's like a best in class game, but it's a game. It's not like Gala or Ultra or some of these other projects where it's not going to be so much of like a home run. They might be able to make money from a lot of different streams. This is just one game, so either it's going to hit it out of the park or it's not. And if you look at Illuvium and you look at its all-time high, its all-time high was like 500. 1,021. 1,021. I should have probably charted it on TradingView. Give me 1 second. There we go. We'll look at the weekly. Oh no, I misspoke, guys. So their all-time high, Jesus, 1,900. 1,900 is their all-time high. And here we are sitting at $56. So amazing, right? I mean, it's lost so much of its market cap, which is insane, because it already has a fully diluted market cap of like over $500 million. But let's talk about why I do not like Illuvium right now, despite this major drop. So, I mean, talk about value. I mean, it was at 1,900. So even at like $190 a token, you've already gotten a 90% discount. And it's at what? Like 70% less than that. So crazy that we are basically at less than 3%. So it's lost 97% of its value. 97% of its value. So you would think, wow, this has to be at an amazing value place. I don't think so, guys. I don't think so. So even on the weekly, still trying to catch a falling knife here, which we don't do. And when we do, we usually get punished for it. And yeah, so it's definitely a falling knife. It looks like it's starting to maybe bottom out here, but it's done that many times before and didn't. We could try to just draw just some kind of support line. I'm just messing around here, guys. Wow. Well, maybe, yeah. I mean, maybe it is starting to bottom out. Just maybe. But I doubt it, just because the macro with the way things are. But let me tell you guys why I really, really, really don't like Illuvium right now. And I would not DCA into this right now. I wouldn't touch it right now. Look at the circulating supply, 7%. That's it, just 7%. So think about the sell pressure that's going to come to this asset as the other 93% of the tokens need to be dumped into circulation. Unbelievable, guys. So at 7%, and that's why its market cap is only 36 million, where here it's $500 million, right? So just think about that. Just think about that for 3 seconds while I drink my water. What is it called? ASMR or whatever with drinking water. All right. So yeah, so just think about that. So do you really want to hold on to this asset that all these tokens, and I haven't done the due diligence, how many team tokens haven't been vested, imagine, you know, how many are going to be vested over the next, I don't know, 6 to 12 months during this bear market, while 93% of the circulating supply still needs to be dumped on its holders. It's a falling knife. So yeah, I mean, it's a cool game. I've seen the graphics. I've looked at it. It looks amazing. A lot of cool people really, really are into this asset. But no, I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't touch it at all. There's no telling how much more it's going to fall. A $36 million market cap is actually not bad, but this fully diluted market cap makes it untouchable. So if we compare it to another game that we talked about, MCRT, Magic Craft, let's see, what is this market cap at? You see it's at 20 million. So, and it's fully diluted market cap here about this, it's, you know, getting high. It's at 6x because of the fact that, look, it's only at 16% of the circulating supply. But Illuvium is much worse at only 7%. And the Illuvium market cap is almost 2x Magic Craft. So if I had to, if someone put a gun to my head and said, which one do you have to invest in right now today, Magic Craft or Illuvium, I would actually say Magic Craft. Because its market cap is lower, so it has more upside, and the circulating supply is at more than 2x what Illuvium is. So hope that answers the question in regards to Illuvium. I definitely plan to hold some at some point, and I think it's going to do very well come the next bull run if the narrative of play to earn and all that comes into play and the way that everyone wants it to. Then it's going to be an asset that's going to perform incredibly well, right? Incredibly well. But just from what I see right now, I would not touch it. So let's see, what else was I going to cover today? We're still at under 20 minutes. So yeah, LUNC is still doing very well. Let's go look how our short is doing. And again, if you guys want to short, go short on beautiful. Look at that. Love it. God, that looks beautiful, that red candle. But as we have seen in many of these other instances, there's usually more to follow. So we're going to keep our short open. Let's just crush it. God, I probably could have already closed it. No, I wanted to close it around right here. So that's good to see. Fun. All right, but I guess that's about, oh yeah, so there's a lot to cover with our DeFi project. So let's first talk about Wine. Wine is doing really well, guys, all things considered, for 2 reasons. Oh, the volume fell. I jinxed it. The volume for a few days heading into the weekend was around 20 to 25K, which was so much higher than that, like 2 to 3K that it was doing in previous weeks. So now it's at 7.7K, which is still much better than previous weeks, but it has dropped. The volume is dropping, so interesting to see that. But yeah, the price action not bad. It went down to $11. Trust me, it was 11.20, and now it's at almost $16. So good on Wine and the team. Looks like maybe things are starting to turn around. Let's see what happens. Let's see what the volume is on Grape. I'm just curious. 12K, not bad. It was also in the 30s earlier in the week, so it has dropped, but it is the weekend. Maybe that has something to do with it. Spring game doing what it's doing, just ranging, just vibing, just chilling, from like 95 to 110, right? I think is what it is. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry, 120. So yeah, it's a pretty big range, 95 to 120. But when it does this 120, it's just for like a few seconds. And that's why you see these big old long wicks. So it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. And I did talk to Shane from Serenity Capital in regards to Pebble. I basically asked him. I was very frank. I'm like, so what's going on with your project? They're still building. He stated that when things cool off with this or start to warm up again with this market, that he thinks that things will be fine for Serenity Capital. So they're still building. They still feel comfortable that they will survive this. Their volume is putrid right now. It's like nothing. Yeah. but he feels comfortable that they will survive. So we'll see what happens. MDMB, I kind of predicted this, a little bit of retracement for MDMB, especially in a bear market. This is not surprising at all. So it has retraced a bit, but not concerned at all. I haven't sold any. I just sold my rewards for the NFTs. That's it. And nice volume, 64K in this bear market, not bad. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to cover today, but I think that's about it. So yeah, so I'll just keep an eye on my LUNC short, which is doing fantastic right now. And I guess that's about it. If there's any other project that you guys want me to cover in detail, just let me know. I'm happy to do it. And I guess that's about it for today. I feel like I'm missing something, but I'm doing so many videos lately that if I am, I'll just bring it up on Monday. So all right, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Get outside. Try to do something that gets you with nature, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.